All right, I apologize for the little bit of the delay there, a little bit of technical issues here. So we're just headed through all of the yeses that we had, and thank you everybody for your feedback. And let's take a look here. I apologize for looking at my screen. Yes, Katie, we are here for the live Q&A, and I apologize for the delay. I had a little bit of a technical issue there. But we are up, and you should still be able to hear me. It might sound a little bit different because I had to move the microphone. So we have a bunch of yeses here. From Terry, thank you very much for the kind words and the kind feedback. And that is wonderful, but I'm more interested in the questions. Let's get into the meat of this thing. Okay, our first question here is from Tom. Tom says, hi, thanks for the presentation, very useful. Will the slides be available somewhere for download? So Tom, we don't have access to the slides, but what you are going to be getting is a recording of the webinar and the recording of this live Q&A, and that's going to be posted up for you. So as soon as we're done, I have to render all the video and I put it on a website, and then we're going to email it out to you. Now, the recording is going to be up for roughly 48 hours after we post it, and then we're going to take it down, and then it gets posted inside a private membership site that we've built for you. So every webinar that we've done sponsored by First National is put inside a membership site for you after the 48 hours, and you have access to it there as well. So so yes, you do have access to the content, but not the slides specifically. And if you want access to that private membership area, just reach out to your First National account manager and they'll get you a link, and that's free. There's thousands of dollars worth of information in there for you. So from Jack, and thank you for the question. So from Jack says, how do we stay fresh and not posting redundant content over and over again? So I'm guessing that is specifically to the emails. So the way that four-step sequence works is really people will only see it once. So when they opt in on your website or they opt in for your information, those 4 emails go out, and then that's it. Those people never get those emails again. That autoresponder just sends that message to that person one time. And then after those 4 emails, it's up to you to continue the conversation with those people, whether it's via your newsletter or continual information that you're emailing out to that database and just opening up that conversation. So those messages really only go out to that person one time in order to really engage them, because the whole purpose of that 4-step sequence, as you know, is to properly brand you and position you in the marketplace as the expert that they want to come and do business with us. So hopefully that answers that question for you. So and you'll have to excuse me, we have literally still hundreds of people here, and the questions are queuing up here really quick. So from Larry asks, can we have a copy of the ask for referral / testimonial email? So that one, again, I can, so you essentially have access to it in the recording itself, but what I'll do is I'll take a template of it and I'll install it on the website. So when you get the link to the recording, make sure that you go and you actually watch the recording, and I'll embed that as a little file download underneath. And again, that's not something that I personally do on my webinars, but because this is sponsored by First National, I'm happy to share that additional content with you. And Larry, I hope that you find it valuable. Our next question from Ben. Ben says, have you heard of offering gifts or the like for people that are referred by your existing database, or does that kind of cheapen the offer? Have you seen some promos work with gifts? So the answer to that is yes. I have seen that done, and I have seen it work really, really well. On the other, so That is a very difficult question. So yes, I would recommend it, but I would say that it's important to make sure that with everything that you do to promote your business, you are in compliance with the compliance rules in your particular jurisdiction. So everybody is a little bit different. So make sure that you look into the compliance aspect of this, but I would definitely say if somebody sends you a referral, it's always a great idea to have something for that person to say thank you and to incentivize them for more of those referrals. So thank you for the excellent yet tough question. Our next question is from Azif. So Azif says, how can we incorporate LinkedIn into this strategy? So LinkedIn is a great resource for business-to-business networking, and the strategies that we're talking about today are really more business-to-consumer focused, direct to marketplace and generating leads. Now, one of the ways that I've seen mortgage brokers do well on LinkedIn is by posting good content, good articles, the educational information that you're giving away in that free download, the top 3 things that you're teaching. You can break those down into articles that you can post on LinkedIn with a link to your website. And then when you drive people over there, they become leads on your website, and then you get to follow up with them more so. So LinkedIn is definitely, it's more of a professional network, and it is really geared more towards business to business, but you can get business to consumers on that. With your content at all times, it's important to display that you're an expert in what you do and that people can trust you, and that you really are the expert there. So I would say with LinkedIn, it's a content-focused strategy to drive people to your website, to get them to fill out the form after you've optimized it and set up your split testing and all that good stuff, and then really driving it from there. So great question. Our next question is from Rianne. Rianne, hopefully I have pronounced that correctly. So what do you specifically recommend for split testing? So the split testing is one of those things that I'm a huge fan of because I'm a nerd, a little bit of a statistics guy. So I love testing pretty much every element that I can, but the 3 areas where I've seen really big impact from split testing on a website is background color. So we've seen bumps as big as 10% on just changing the color of the website. So changing nothing, the layout stays the same, everything stays the same, but we change the background color and we see a big boost in response from that. The second thing that we've seen a really good response from is headlines. So the main call to action or the offer that sits at the top of your website, just changing the wording and making it a direct offer about the thing that you're going to give to that person for their contact information. Just changing that headline is a great way to boost response and to really see a significant impact by changing just one thing. And then the third thing that we normally see a good response from when we move it around or we change it is essentially your call to action. So your phone number, your email address, and the call now, switching it from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, or moving it from, very, very top right-hand corner of your website and moving it more towards the center so that when people are reading your website, it hits them above the fold. So moving that box that tells people how to contact you is another way that we've been able to increase our response on mortgage websites specifically in the past doing that split testing. So I would test those 3 elements first: your background color, your headline, and where you have your contact information above the fold on the website. So Rianne, great question, and thank you for that. So Bob asks, this is fantastic. I love the 4 emails. is it possible to get all 4 email templates to send out? With only 30 minutes of content, it was hard to get through all 4 of them, but the first 2, you have the templates available, again, in the recording of the video. So that you can take those. And the other 2 we have as part of the abundance program. So we don't give those out because we do have people that have invested in that program to get access to those templates to send them out. But you get the first 2 just for being here as part of the event. So hopefully that helps you out. But again, in the best practices that I gave you during the webinar, give yourself the gift of a half hour of free time in this webinar recording, and that's enough time for you to sit down, craft your own email that's really going to resonate with your own voice and your own content, so that you can get a good email written to send out to those past clients. So hopefully that helps. And you'll excuse me here, I'm filtering through some more yeses. From Marion says, do you find certain colors get more action than others? So Marion, that's a fantastic question, and I don't have an answer on specific colors because what I've found is that each marketplace is different. So it's actually kind of regional. So we've seen really good responses from like a red, but not like a bright red, like a nice subtle red background color that's worked really well for us in some marketplaces, and then we'll take it to the other side of the country and it'll just bomb and do really poorly. So in that case, then we'll test something that has like a nice subtle blue color to it or something like that. So there's no specific color. Now, there is one thing that I can tell you, that pretty much every time I test it, if I go with a solid background color that doesn't have a like a texture to it, pretty much those flat or gradient backgrounds always outperform something that has a texture or a pattern or a grid or anything that can distract the eye or make it kind of difficult to read the text. Normally those underperform. So you want a flat background or a gradient background. Specific colors, you have to test. So, but that has been, one of the things that I've found. So try and stay away from those patterns. And again, I apologize. I'll get through as many of these as possible. But again, if I don't get an answer to your question, I will email you the answer to your question after the event, just to make sure that you get access to it. So if you've missed the first part of the webinar, Jane, you're going to get an email that has access to the recording for you. So from David says, do you suggest a personal Facebook page and a business Facebook page, or just a business page for posting? So David, I recommend that you use your personal Facebook page is for your past clients, your past customers, the people that you really have a relationship with, and that should feel like they have a relationship with you after you've done the transaction for them. And what we do is we put those people in a specific list on your personal Facebook account so that you can choose what content they get to see. So the pictures of your kids or your grandkids or whatever it is, you can send those just to friends and family. And then your past clients, you can show them things about, what's happening in the industry, a little bit about yourself personally, but you can really filter what those people get to see. Your business page is more for advertising, promotion, being able to run ads on Facebook, being able to drive traffic to your website, your lead generation page. Think of your business page as that brochure or that marketing campaign that you have that goes out to people that don't yet know you, like you, and trust you. It's a lead generation tool to bring you more customers. Once people are customers, they move over to your personal Facebook account, they become friends, and then you begin to kind of work that relationship for the referrals through your personal Facebook account. That's my personal recommendation. It's your Facebook. Everybody feels a little bit differently about how they run theirs, but that's how I recommend you run yours. So I hope that helps. From Jim. So Jim has a question. Does the number of reviews on your Facebook affect how many people see your content from your business page? I've heard Facebook has made changes regarding who sees your business content. So Jim, yes, Facebook has made some very significant changes into how many people will see your content on your business page. There was a study done across kind of like a large number. I don't know the absolute number because I don't have it in front of me, but the average business page in today's marketplace will touch anywhere from 4% to 6% of the people that they have as likes on their business page when they post a piece of content. So it doesn't matter how many reviews you have on how many people are going to see your content. What matters is the engagement on the content that you're actually posting on your page. So when you're posting information on your Facebook page, if you get a lot of likes and you get a lot of comments and you get a lot of shares, the next piece of content that you post on your Facebook page will be shown to more of your fans, because Facebook has this thing, it's called EdgeRank, and the more your content is resonating with your audience, the more of your audience Facebook will show your content to. With us in the mortgage industry, it's very difficult to have something that goes viral, right? When you're talking about people's finances, it can be difficult to really generate a large-scale, viral, engaging conversation about that. So in order to get that content out to the majority of those people that like your business page, you do need to boost that post or pay for advertising to get that content out there. And you'll notice that that change came, and that drop in reach came after Facebook went public and became, more of a for-profit company. And that's one of the ways that they're driving that revenue, is by having brands have to pay to reach their audience. So hopefully that helps you out. So no, the reviews don't change how many people see your content. What the reviews will do is go in front of people that are interested in getting a mortgage, that are friends with people that have left the reviews, which is very powerful. And I still very highly recommend you getting reviews on your Facebook business page and on your Google My Business page. They're very important for growing your business. From Alexander. Alexander says, which program or app are you using as an autoresponder? So there's a service out there called Aweber, which we talked about in the presentation. It's $19 a month. And from a very base level, it's very simple to use. Their customer support is great with helping you get your account set up. And if you're just going to program those 4 emails to go to your new leads, it's probably one of the better options for you. The other option is MailChimp. MailChimp, like the monkey. They're, again, a very easy to use platform, very cost effective. It's very easy to set up an autoresponder campaign. Again, as I mentioned, the great thing about this is you set it up once and it just sits there and works in your business, essentially in perpetuity until you either shut it off or stop driving leads to your website. So those are the 2 services that I would recommend that are easy to start with and not very expensive. So we've already answered the question about the recordings, but a nice shout out to First National. Thank you for hosting the events, and thank you for being here. Thank you for investing a half hour, 45 minutes of your time in order to grow your business. We certainly appreciate having you here. I apologize just while I get through these. So yes, if you logged in late, just wait. In the email, we'll send you access to the recording and to the recording of the Q&A. So you will get access to that. From Steve. Steve says, what is your opinion of paid Facebook boosts versus individual posts? So Steve, that kind of ties into the conversation that we were having earlier about when you're posting on your personal Facebook page, you should be thinking in the mindset of, can somebody that wants to refer me a customer share this content and tag a new client for me, right? So if you're posting on your personal Facebook page, can somebody take your expert advice that you've posted on your Facebook page and tag the person that they know that's currently in the mortgage market that needs mortgage help? So when you're thinking about your content on your personal page, if you're going to post about your mortgage business, which you should, keep that in mind. the content can't just be, here's today's rate. It needs to help people so that the people that want to refer you business can feel comfortable taking that post and sharing it with their friends. Kind of a litmus test for that is, you know, if you're on a hockey team, or you're on a baseball team, or, you know, you're in a knitting group, whatever it happens to be, would you be able to take that content and pass it to the person that you sit beside and say, hey, I know you're looking for a house right now. I think you'd find this helpful. If you can write content that you would share with the person that sits beside you at that personal thing that you do, you got great content, and it will get shared and people will use it for that. So on the personal side of things, that's how you should look at your content. On advertisements, paid Facebook boosts, when you're paying to get that advertising out there, it has to go on your business page. And you can get incredibly targeted with who gets to see that content. So you can go into Facebook and say, okay, I want to show this to people that live in my city between the ages of 25 and 32 that are interested in real estate and property and like the Home and Garden Television business page. And then you can show an advertisement to just those people. So when you boost a post, it can go to anybody on Facebook, not just the people that like your business page and not just your friends. So you can really write a very direct message to, and you know, that demographic is perfect for the first-time homebuyer market. So in talking about putting together your giveaway and giving people useful, valuable content, you can write a report that's, you know, the top 3 things that every new home buyer needs to know in city name, right? Run that Facebook ad with a boosted post just to that target market in your location and drive that traffic from the boosted post to your website. They opt in for the free information, and then your 4-step autoresponder sequence follows up with them on the back end to convert them from interested to really wanting to do business with you. So that's how I would leverage the Facebook boosted posts versus your personal content that you're posting on your individual Facebook page. So Steve, thank you very much for the fantastic question. Hopefully that answer really helps you out. I personally love running funnels like that and seeing how they work, and they do work. I highly recommend that you try one out and that you take the advice that you got during today's presentation and you implement, because it will help you out. John likes my haircut. Thank you, John. I'm glad that you like it. My wife is a fan as well. So another question. So from Tom, it looks like we had a little bit of a problem with the Q&A coming up, which I knew about, and I apologize for the delay. A very useful presentation. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Okay. On to a new thread, pardon me. From Karen. So Karen asks, can you please repeat the Optimize tool that you're using for the website? So the tool is Optimizely. So Optimize and then ly on the back of it, .com. So Optimizely. And again, it's a drag and drop editor that you can install it on your website, and it will bring up like 2 versions of your website. You just change what you want to change using the WYSIWYG editor, and then you save it, and then it shows you what's happening on the different traffic that's going to the 2 different offers. So it's Optimizely. The other service was leadpages.net, but it's again more of a full-blown for people that want to generate their own opt-in pages outside of their website. So Optimizely, I believe, is the one that you're looking at. So for those of you that haven't gotten an answer to your question, I will answer all of your questions via email. So we've got time for one more question here, which I'll do. If you haven't gotten the answer to your question, I will make sure that I email you back personally with the answer that you need. So from Ash says, have you done any remarketing on Facebook, re-prospecting, targeting users who haven't been on your site? So Ash, the remarketing of So when you put the pixel on your website and you remarket to those are people that have been to your website. You've tagged them with that Facebook pixel, and now you're showing ads to them when they log back into Facebook because they've been on your website. So as far as remarketing, yes, absolutely. It's kind of a core component in all of the Facebook campaigns that we run, just because it gets great response, it gets great click-through rates, and we're able to generate leads for lower cost with those people. Now, what I think you might be also referencing with your question is lookalike audiences. So if somebody hasn't been on your website, you can still target them with a Facebook ad if they look alike to an audience that you've built. So when you take that Facebook targeting pixel and you put it on your website, it starts to track everybody that visits your website. When they log back into Facebook, that pixel follows them and says, okay, this person was on Chris's website. Now they've logged into Facebook. Now we know who they are. So we can say, okay, Chris is advertising. This person responded to his offer, went to his website, and now we know who they are, their age, their location, their demographics, their interests, all that kind of stuff. And then Facebook basically categorizes every person that gets tagged with that tag. And then when you go into your Facebook Ads Manager account, you can go to Tools up at the top, click on Tools, and then Audiences. And when you click the Audiences bar, it's going to give you 3 different options to create an audience on your website. And then one of the other options will be create a lookalike audience. And when you create that lookalike audience, you choose the pixel from your Facebook account and then say, I want, so I believe it goes from 1% to 20%. And you can essentially say, okay, I want 1% of the users in my location that match that profile, or you can make it broader by taking that toggle bar up. And what Facebook will do is look at all of the people that have been on your website and had that pixel applied to them, and find all of the other people on Facebook that match that demographic profile of your average user. So they'll look at all of the people that have been to your website and say, okay, the average person is this old, lives in this location, has these interests, and Facebook will build an audience of people that you can advertise to based on just the people that have already been to your website. Yes, we deploy those. Yes, they work well. And yes, I recommend that you try it out because it's really cool. So so with that, we will wrap up our Q&A. Again, I apologize for a little bit of technical issues there, and I sincerely appreciate your time and being here with me, and I hope that you got massive value from this week's event. I'm really looking forward to next month's event with you. And again, if you have any questions, I will respond to everything that we got during the Q&A, but if anything else pops into your mind, head on over to my Facebook page. It's Chris Johnstone on Facebook. Happy to answer any questions that you have over there as well. A big thank you to First National Financial for sponsoring our event, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next month. So bye, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. Talk to you later.